Let's start our recording.
YouTube. Please do the magic button for the audio.
Did not. That's what's going on.
Yep.
Thank you. Don't like that we have to do that every time.
Yeah, well, it's one of the setups you got to remember. Put a post-it note. YouTube.
We'll have to do that beforehand. So we'll have to get good at this. I have to play that again. I like this one, by the way. Okay.
Please do the magic button for the audio.
Did not. That's what's going on.
Yep.
Thank you.
It's recorded. That's hilarious.
Don't. Zoom Live is an interesting little tool, is it
Please
not?
do the magic button for the audio.
Oh my God. Did not. That's what's going on. Curtis, I can't seem to play this intro.
Well, just push play anyway without the audio.
Can you hear it?
Yep. It keeps on over and over.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. RJ Horner here, along with
Curtis Leong.
And a special beacon today.
Linda Tilson.
And we are Beacon of Leadership. Linda is a beacon as well. She calls herself a beacon, and we're very proud of that and proud to have her in the community. Today, we're talking about a subject that is going to help you achieve. In fact, you can't achieve anything if you don't take advantage of this topic. And it's funny how fate works, because I picked this topic earlier on in the week. I picked my topics usually about a week in advance. I now have the topic for the next 6 weeks because of what I read in a book. In fact, it's a magic book. It's the book that helped guide most leaders out there. Most thought leaders have read this book. Have you read it?
I have. Yep.
Linda,
I have not. I have not, but
I've read this book.
But I live by what it is because I did a quick research of what we're going to talk about tonight to see what the view of the book had on it, and I agree completely. So I'm excited to get into it.
I'm going to see if I have an extra copy, because if I do, I'm going to mail you one. You need to have this book. Anyways, folks, the book, Think and Grow Rich. Bob Proctor calls it his Bible. He has learned and lived and taught by this book. I believe in it too, and I'm going to use it the same way as Bob Proctor did. So our topic today is consistent action. Like I said, I picked the topic last week, or usually by Sunday.
Yep.
I'll pick the topic. I think I picked this one Friday. But I thought, and that's because I saw a post from Jim Hetherington last week, and I thought, what a great topic. We need to discuss that. And then it's funny how fate works, like I said. So I picked up Think and Grow Rich today, where my bookmark happens to be. And I find the self-confidence formula. I'm just going to read step 1. It's actually the first step. So the first step in the self-confidence formula. I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I demand of myself persistent, continuous action toward its attainment. And I here and now promise to render such action. That's step 1. And that's our discussion today. Persistent, consistent action. Because I'm not the best at this, right? Curtis, you've held me accountable. You've held me in place lots of times. I still fall short on occasion. Look, I'm not perfect. I
Sure.
won't let anybody think I'm perfect. I have flaws I have to overcome. And there are times when I don't do what is right or necessary in order to move forward. I know what my dream is. I know what I want to achieve, but yet I don't do enough to move forward on that playing field. I don't put that action into place. And yet I can't even accept that, because what is one of my 10 steps? It's one of my last of the 10 steps is action. So I've talked about action for a long time. But if you don't do those right things, you don't get enough progress towards that dream, to realize that dream. Anybody else's thoughts there?
Oh, I actually have a great thought on this. And you are so right. A lot of times we know we want to go out and achieve something, and we know that it's going to take some work to get there, but we fall short. And one of the best ways to learn how to take consistent action is to pick something small. Pick something small that you can commit to, that you will commit to, and you tell somebody about it, right? And you do that thing for 14 days consistently without fail. Now, if you happen to miss a day, you do need to give yourself grace. I'm going to say that, but you're going to go do this thing for 14 days. And then when you achieve that, you will get to feel what it's like to have that achievement, because you've taken those small steps of consistency that have gotten you to that point. And I do this in my life. I do that in my physical wellness, my mental wellness, my intellectual wellness. I will pick things that I will consistently practice, and then I achieve them. And that's why I'm able to do as many things as I set out to do, is because I'm very selective on what I prioritize that I'm going to do consistently. So that's another thread that I'd like to share.
Absolutely. Thank you for that. How about you, Curtis? What are you thinking on the topic of action,
Action,
and especially consistent or persistent action?
well, if you take consistent action, you're going to be successful at something. Whatever you choose to be consistent at, it's going to happen. And then once you're consistent, it builds a habit, and then you can do like other habit ideas with that, habit stacking consistently on something. So if you brush your teeth every day, you have like affirmation in front of your mirror, you know how to read it, right? It's automatic. So stuff like that. So that's consistent action. So you got to set yourself up to be successful by doing things that maybe hint towards what you want. So you got to figure out what your goal is first, and then you make that a consistent action, and then you just add it to a habit you already have. So if you see when I start exercising in the morning, what's the first thing you do when you get out of bed?
You would stretch. You would stretch and do. You know,
what is the
again,
first thing you do every
You
morning?
put on your clothes that you're going to go exercise in,
No,
I think.
even before that, what's the first thing you do to get out of bed? What do you do? How do you get out of bed? You sit up.
You put your feet on the floor. Yeah, you see.
You
Yeah,
sit up.
truthfully, yes.
You sit up. So guess
Yeah.
what? You can do 10 sit-ups before you even step foot out of the bed.
Oh, I love
Isn't that genius or what? That's
Oh,
so
that
easy.
is pretty
It's
genius.
super simple. It's like I never thought of that before. Well, I thought of this a long time ago. I used to do 50 sit-ups even before I got out of bed. And then as I put my feet on bed, I rolled on the floor and did 50 push-ups. Even
So I will
before I
say
went to the bathroom. Yeah. So
I will say
built
it's
a
kind
habit.
of difficult when you have somebody else in bed with you, who gets up a little later than you. But you know what? What an opportunity to get in some exercise. They say the most successful people do more before 4 a.m. than we do all day, right? So
Oh, I do quite a bit after 4 a.m. myself.
I'm a night owl myself.
Awesome.
oh, me too. I do my best work by about 8 to 10 o'clock. You know what I mean? There's why I chose this
AM
time
or
for the
PM?
podcast. PM.
PM,
I'm a
okay.
night guy.
Yeah, I'm a morning guy.
But to each their own, right? We all
Yep.
function at different levels.
Absolutely.
But the idea is, look, it takes, what do they say, 21 days to truly form a habit, for it
That's
to
just-
become
that's-
solidified.
That's just the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and
actually
then from
66 to 75 people recommend as well.
right. Sunil, if you remember, he used to talk about the 1166. I think he learned this from Robin Sharma.
Yep.
The 1166. So you do one habit for 1 hour a day for 66 days. And you can develop a habit in that area. So let's say, we're talking about action. We're talking for leaders who want to achieve. They have a dream. They have a desire. They want to put a business together. They want to write a book. They want to create something. They have an invention or something like that. These are the type of people we're catering to.
Mhm.
So by taking that 1 hour a day, right? For 66 days, one habit, 1 hour a day, focus on that one habit. You will achieve something in 66 days consistently.
Yeah, it could be reading, it could be exercise, it could be anything in that 1 hour, right?
Absolutely. So the reason I mentioned, and I use the self-confidence formula, I've listened to Earl Nightingale. I listen to it daily, where he talks about the 30-day challenge.
Okay.
And so I've told you, Curtis, I've done this before. I've written out my my affirmation, right?
Mhm.
So I rewrote it today just because I read this passage.
Yep.
And I
Perfect.
thought, okay, I haven't been consistent in this area. I need to be more consistent, but I also need to redefine what it is I do and how I'm serving, right?
Absolutely.
So I rewrote it today, and I'd like to read it for everybody here today because
Let's do
I
it.
think it's pretty powerful. And if I read this every day for 30 days, I know what I'm creating. I know who I am.
Mhm.
So it really defines me. So here it is
Awesome.
for everybody. I am a thought leader, motivator, and professor of life and leadership. I have created a movement based on belonging and fellowship. I teach concepts and principles that are bigger than myself and invaluable to mankind. I am a beacon of leadership. And then, of course, I signed it, Robert J. Horner.
Right on. And where do
So
you
I'm-
read that every morning? Or
This
evening too?
I put it actually by my computer. So when I go to work,
Yep. You
it
see
sits
it.
underneath my monitor. So I actually get to look at it multiple times per
Oh,
day.
perfect.
But I lost my old one. So that's why I say I'm glad I rewrote this today. I'm glad it was brought to top of mind. Because again, for the next 30 days, this will be my focus. Not to say I haven't focused in this area already, but for the next 30 days, it's something that really is going to define who I am. So Linda, how are you with consistent action? What are you doing and what are you working towards yourself? I know you're out there to help people. I know you serve people, but what are you doing yourself? What is it you're trying to build and create?
Well, what I'm trying to build and create is a community of people that want to come in and receive my training, my education, whether it's a personal based or whether it is leading teams based. And I found that the best way for me to be consistent is I need to put myself out there so people can see who Linda is as a beacon and what it would be like to work with me. But they can't do that. They don't know me. And so one of the areas that has been hard for me is actually putting myself out on video. So doing videos. And so I decided, oh, I'm going to create videos. And I don't necessarily do it every day for my consistency, but I'm doing it like once every couple of days. I put the videos out there. And each time I do that, I just fall into the flow of what I'm doing. The passion will come to me. The words will come out. And so by being consistent in that way, I'm loving it. I was afraid of doing it. Didn't necessarily like doing the monologue thing. I'd rather be in something like this where we get to have conversation. And so the one direction I had to just go out there and share what I would share if I were teaching that course or I was giving that talk. And once I do that, then the rest just comes into play. And it was the consistency. It was the daily practice, the confidence that built up from doing that, that took me forward. And I actually had feedback on what I had shared, which was quite wonderful, I must admit. So I wasn't just talking to the audience of myself, putting it out there. I was talking to people that were actually taking in and finding value in what I was sharing. And they thought enough of it to reach out to me personally. So what am I doing? I'm moving what I just mentioned forward. I want to have my outreach to bring people into my sphere so that I can share all these valuable things, because that's what I'm here for as a beacon, is to share my knowledge, to give people a pathway that they could proceed, and then give them the support to be able to do that. Well, would you work with someone that you hadn't really known before? I mean, I want to get beyond friends and family. I mean, I love working with friends and family. They're my best base of support. However, I need to expand past that. And the only way I'm going to do that is to take those steps forward and do it consistently.
Awesome.
Uh,
Great.
Absolutely. Go ahead. You have something to say, Curtis?
Oh, I think it's great that you're doing videos. I remember when I first started doing mine, I was very scared too. And then I had a challenge, 99-day challenge, video challenge I did. And then I kept going that for a full year. So I did videos every day for 365 days. Pretty crazy. And
And
I
now
do
you're
3
well over
times.
2 years at this point on that
Yep.
365-day journey.
Yeah, well, this year I decided to just do 3 per week. It was too much because I have other jobs and stuff, and other working with RJ here. It's too hard to get. The content creation is really difficult to do every day now. We have so many other things on the go, but yeah, it was quite the challenge. And you're right, people do reach out to you, and you'll learn to be able to grow. And what's magical about that is that when you go talk on a stage, you'll be more comfortable.
Exactly. I'm
never,
getting
you
ready
know-
to do that this year.
Yep.
Mhm.
And you'll never know. Like can't believe how scared I was one day.
It wasn't so much that I was scared. It just that I didn't really see myself as being successful in that area, like everyone else, because you do the comparison thing at first when you
absolutely.
first start something out. You're like, how do I want to show up? How do I want to present myself? How do I not want to do it? Well, I just decided I just need to authentically come to the table and do it my way and see what happens.
And I've watched your videos, so a matter of feedback, I love watching your videos. You know what? They're filled. You can see your passion for what you're talking about. I can see the nerves a little bit, especially when you first started. But you are getting better at them. You're getting more comfortable. And I love the message you have to deliver. And again, it's so nice to get that validation back that people are watching. It's not just you talking to a screen and, sharing a message that nobody's going to hear, right? So, I mean, we're doing this for a reason. We want to shine that light. We want to let people know what's going on. So, I mean, I'm a bit of an extrovert, so I can talk to people. I can have conversations, very comfortable in that area. But even me, doing the videos, I should be doing more, right? But I don't, because I still feel uncomfortable a little bit just talking on video, doing those lives, doing those. So I've taken now to just recording the video. Usually I try to keep it to like 3 minutes or so, and then posting it, because I wasn't getting a live audience. And then sometimes when it would be like 10 minutes into the broadcast, and I'm just about to end, and somebody will come and join me live. And so I stopped doing the live thing. I've decided to do like 3 to 5 minute posts, and they're going pretty good. You know what I mean? I need more consistency in them, but I'm doing several a week. So I'm pretty proud of the way that's going myself. It seems like we're all on a similar journey at similar stages too. And I'm loving that. And that's what Beacon is all about, right? It's about shining out. It's about spreading that message, sharing the joy, sharing the idea that they can do this too, right? There's this path for everybody. So I love that.
Cool.
So again, consistent, persistent. We need to do it every day. Well, like you said, Curtis, maybe it's not every day, but several times a week. And we develop this. We get comfortable at it. We go to a better place. I like also what you mentioned, Linda, is, there's always that self-doubt. There's always the question, right? Look, I've told Curtis, I've told other people, I want to be on the level with Bob Proctor, Wayne Dyer, Zig Ziglar, like these people who have been in my ear, Jim Rohn, who have shared messages with me. And now it's my opportunity to share those messages with other people. Wayne Dyer said, when you go from a place not beyond believing to a place of knowing, that's when you really take off. That's when really you start to understand. And I will say this, I've always doubted, right? Who am I to be Bob Proctor? Who am I to want to be on that level, right? I'm just RJ Horner. Yep. I'm nobody to them. But you know what? They're not here anymore. Or many of them are not here, and they're leaving our plane. So somebody's got to carry on this message. Why not me? So I've gotten to a place of knowing. And it was I was reading Neville Goddard, The Law. And he was talking about just consciousness, God being consciousness. God is being. I used to say, you know what, God, you can't tell me that God is just a being, one single being out there. But that's exactly what he is. Or the concept of God is being. God is being, that single being that we all are. We're trying to exist. But when you go from a place to trying to just doing, and there's where the consistent action comes in, you get to a place of knowing. So I know who I am, and I know that I'm ready to step onto that plane where, again, these big names that I've wanted to emulate for so long, I'm there. It's not a matter of whether I get there or whether I become that. It's just I am there.
Cool.
And there's where the consistent action comes in.
Yep. You got a goal, and you just gotta keep at it and get it. Right?
And it's beyond believing too. You know what I mean? I no longer I don't have to act as if. I don't have to fake it till I make it. I don't have to try to be this person because I am this person. I just have to be. I just have to do.
Yep.
And if I be and do, guess what? I get to have.
That's right.
So
Part of the cycle, be,
consistent
do, have,
action
right?
gets you there. And that's why it is step one in that self-confidence plan. Again, do I look like a person who is a little bit self-confident?
Yeah, I
It
think
takes
so.
practice to get there, but everybody out there could get there.
And everyone started in the place that we're speaking of, even the Bob Proctors of the world. They started in a place where they had to step into who they were or are and do the things consistently. And over time, they built up their brand. They built up what they were giving to the world. And you're right. You don't have to fake it till you make it. You are doing it right now and being that person. And that's all it takes, to do that and to have that belief. And honestly, the consistency, the reason why that's the first thing is because it's a foundational piece.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's the idea too, right? In building anything you want to create. Like we think about the high rise, right? Now we look at that building and it's tall and it's great. But how did it get there? First of all, somebody thought up an idea. Somebody built on that idea until it became a plan. Now that we have the plans, we can write those plans out and we can put it all into pieces and structure it. And then we get all those resources. We get all of the people and all the products and all the things we need to put this together. And we start to build. And then one day, like, look, I stand tall. I know who I am. Just like that skyscraper that you see with all the windows and 40 stories high. It started somewhere. And that's where, we're beyond starting at this point, the three of us, but we started somewhere. We began that journey once upon a time. And it all became from an idea that we nurtured and created and took action upon.
That's right.
Any further thoughts? Because this has been a great discussion so far.
I think with the consistent action, you also have got to build your foundation too, right? And as you build, you get bigger and bigger. And that's where you are now. You're at the foundation stage, perhaps, right? Think of Bob Proctors and all them. They started somewhere too, right? So just gotta keep at it, and you know what you want now, so it's gonna happen, right? It's just a matter of time and being consistent action towards that. Perfect. Nice little summary there.
The one thing that I wanted to add to this is we can't possibly do our work as beacons if we're not practicing and embodying this particular piece, because we just talked about how it's really hard to keep the consistency, to get started, to not quit, to keep going. If I think about every single client that I have worked with or any person that I've supervised, there's that time where a person just either wants it right away without doing the work. So you have that conversation, or they do take some steps, but they don't stick with it. And so they're not being consistent. So they don't meet their goal. And so they're like, oh, I'm not made for this. I'm like, no, you're not going to give up. You are made for this. And you just need to stick with it a little bit longer. And that's where we come in. We say, how can we support you to be consistent? Because if you can identify the roadblocks or the things that stand in the way of consistency, you can figure out what those are, and you can give somebody support in that area or help them to see how they could get support. Then they'll go further and faster. They'll get that consistency, they'll get that confidence, and then it'll be a regular practice. And one by one, they'll just start firing off all of these great accomplishments.
Fantastic. It's good.
Absolutely. And that's where coaches and mentors come in, right? We call ourselves Beacon, but it's the same thing. We're here to shine that light and help people walk the path, right? We're here to support you through that journey, wherever you may be. It may be that lack of consistency. It may be that doubt. It may be that you want to give up, right? I know I probably have this name wrong, but it's Russell Cromwell is what comes to mind. But I'm talking about Acres of Diamonds. Have you guys heard about that or read about that? Acres of Diamonds is a tale where this guy has property and he wants to be rich. He wants to be wealthy. And he starts, looking around for where he could find wealth. And so he sells his property and he goes and looks, and he starts, digging through or panning, for gold. And so he starts looking for the wealth. And then the guy he sold the property to starts, looking around on his property one day, and sure enough, he stumbles upon some diamonds that were right under the guy's feet the entire time, right?
Oh,
So there's where he had an acre of diamonds, but he sold it off. He got rid of it. So, and then there's another tale where the guy did the mining, and there's a bigger tale to it. But the idea is, just when you're about to give up, that's where the riches are. That's where the wealth is. Just keep going that little bit more. So if you're
Push a
having
bit
that
further.
self-doubt, you know what I mean? Don't give up. Don't throw it away just yet. Find somebody who's going to support you through that and help push you to the next level. And that's what we do here. So
Mhm.
I wanted to tie that in with what we do as coaches and mentors. Again, we're here to serve coaches, authors, speakers, entrepreneurs. We want to help you through your journey. We want to help you create whatever it is you want to create. And it's different for everybody, but we've been there. We understand this industry. We can help you figure it out. So we're here for you. That's what we do as Beacons.
Excellent.
So that's our topic today.
Cool.
And
Awesome.
I found our next 6 topics, because we're going to walk through the 5 steps of this self-confidence formula. And then on our 6th episode, we're going to wrap it all up and discuss all 5 and discuss the actual formula. So you're welcome to join us for any one of these discussions, Linda. This has been wonderful today.
Yep.
Thank you, Linda Tilson, another Beacon, for joining us on this conversation today.
Awesome. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell and like and leave comments on our channel, guys. Thank you.
Absolutely. So, and that's us. Until next time, RJ Horner, along with,
Curtis Leong.
and today with,
Linda Tilson.
and we are Beacon of Leadership. Thank you for joining us, and have a great day.
Take care, guys. Have a good night. Bye.
Good night.